Hello everybody, this is Debbie. I hope that you guys are well. Today have been a very challenging day because it was a strike day. We had public transport strike. So getting to work was very challenging. First of all, what am I grateful for? I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful the fact that I made it this morning, and some of you have made it because you're here either doing whatever you're doing or on Facebook, etc. So that's something you need to be grateful for. And you need to celebrate it because you're alive and you're here to tell the tales. You're also here to experience the opportunities. You're also, here to have the experience and things like that. So that's one of the things I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for life. I'm also grateful for my bed. I'm also grateful for the fact that I have my family around me and friends. And today I'm grateful for the power of nature. Yes, I'm grateful for nature itself. Too often we take that for granted. As I said earlier on when I started that today was a strike day in the UK, in London. Basically, a number of the public transport was on strike. I shouldn't say a number. I think all the trains were on strike. All the underground were on strike. So it's either people work from home who are able to drive drove, or people take alternative means of transport. I normally take the underground, which would take me to work. I normally take 2 underground and a bus, and it would take me just over an hour. Sometimes it's an hour. It just depends on, how things are, etc. Today, it took me almost 3 hours to get to work. It was meant to be 3 buses, but I took 2 buses and then I walked. And I walked through the park. And initially I thought, oh my goodness, walking through the park, you hear all these horror stories about the park, etc. Someone said to me, oh, you could walk across through the park to the other end, where you want to go, etc. I think, oh, I'm not going to walk through the park. It was raining, etc. Although it was after 9 or something like that, I think, oh, I'm not going to walk to the park. Let's see how many people walking through the park, because that was a foreign place to me. I had no idea. So anyway, when I saw, some children walking through the park, I thought, okay, I'll walk through the park as well. So I walked through the park, and it was a fantastic experience. It's between, I was told it takes between 15 and 20 minutes. So it was a 20-minute walk, and it was raining. Nevertheless, it was challenging, but I minus the challenge and I enjoyed the experience. The park was lovely. Nature was beautiful. I had my me time. I talked to the trees. I talked to myself. It was lovely. It wasn't very, very busy. People was, because there are different parts of the park, there are different pathways, etc. It was absolutely wonderful. It was freezing, right? And it was raining, but it was lovely. So I used that time to reflect. I used that time to go through the experience, and I was very relaxed because I saw it was my me time. It was me actually having like hour with God for a walk. And that's what I did. And it was absolutely beautiful. The trees, they're all naked, but it was beautiful. They had so many trees out there. It was just being in nature. I was being in nature in the rain. Yes, I had my hood on because I couldn't even find the umbrella. And I just had a lovely slow walk because there was no point in me rushing. I was late anyway. Some of my students were doing exams. I didn't have a lesson this morning because my student did exams, but I couldn't even be bothered anyway. It was just lovely, just strolling, just relaxing, just taking in the beauty of nature. Yes, it was raining and it was cold, but I couldn't even focus on that. I was focusing more on the beauty and me reflecting and me just having time with me. And it was just a beautiful experience. And it was an opportunity for me to just be in nature, and that was wonderful. I took loads of pictures, just me, just taking pictures of the trees, taking pictures of the, they had a number of ducks there. They had some birds flying. I chased the birds because I wanted to see them fly and I wanted to take the pictures of them flying. It was just fantastic. And when I got to the other side of the park, it was, a little walk up to the school. The time I got to the school, I was absolutely frozen. It was so, so cold, so cold. But it was just a wonderful experience. I cleared my head. It was just really nice. But the consequence of that is when I got to school, I was really cold. So I had to really, I had to keep my coat on. And in my staff room, we have a heater. I had to put that heater on full blast because I was so cold. But it was lovely. The experience of the almost 3 hours getting to work, there's no point in me getting upset about it or getting stressed because I could do nothing about it. When I got there, one of my colleagues said to me, "Oh, I've actually just got in as well." So he got in 5 minutes before me and he was telling me how he was stressed and frustrated. I said to him, "What's the point of that? There was no point in being frustrated and stressed because you have no control over that. The only control you have is whether or not you take 3 buses or 2 buses and you walk." That's what I had control over. My control was, instead of me taking the 3 buses, I took 2 buses and then I had a 20-minute walk. So that was the control I had. And I exercised my control. And I actually enjoyed the beauty of walking in the park and talking to the trees and smiling to myself and just being in nature, and it was wonderful. So that was my win today. It was a big, big win for me. Cold as hell, but it was beautiful, beautiful. And on, the in terms of with my students, etc., I had lessons this afternoon. So not to say that I had free sessions today, I had lessons. And it was a very reflective session for me because, I reflected on the fact that being in nature was beautiful. So I also, mentioned that to my students and encouraged them to do little walks and enjoy nature and connect with nature, especially now because it's very, very powerful. Because I know a lot of the students forget how to walk, but today's strike actually forced a lot of them to walk because a lot of them had exams today. My year 11s and year 13 had exams. So they had to make sure they make it into school. So that was one of the things in terms of my win today. Being in nature, enjoying the experience, having the opportunity in the morning to have a 20-minute walk. That was fantastic. It was like being in the countryside again. So that for me was lovely. Nevertheless, it was a long journey to get to work. And coming back home, I thinking, I was dreading the experience, but when you actually change your mindset, everything's become easier. So this morning, I wasn't too sure what to expect. I wasn't too sure the way I was going because one way I was planning to go, I didn't go that way. Daddy, was a whole lot of situation on that. But the fact that I had the opportunity to walk through the park, I knew that when I was going home, I was going to take that route again. So therefore, it becomes easier. So I was much more prepared for that. And in terms of walking through the park to get to the other side and getting my bus, the journey seems to be shorter going home. Normally, journeys going home is normally longer. But I took a different route going home today. And it was nice, very, very tiring because it was long. But having the initial journey through the park and then having my 2 buses was much easier because I was looking at the pictures from my phone on the journey back. Yes, it was tiring. Yes, you had no control over it. There's no point in becoming anxious or annoyed, etc., etc. But I was so tired, going home, I was falling asleep on the bus. And when I woke up, I realized, oh my goodness, I'm still on the same bus. So that was another thing for me today in terms of falling asleep on the bus and then getting up and realize I'm still on the bus, because at one time in my head while I was sleeping, falling asleep, I thought I was on my final bus. When I opened my eyes, I realized I was on the same first bus. And when I look back, I realized my bus I wanted was behind. And I'm thinking, oh, thank you. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, universe. I got up just in time to get off the bus so that I don't have to go to the longer journey to get my bus. So that was quite good. That was my win today as well. When I got up, I realized the bus I wanted was behind. So, it made my journey shorter. Instead of me taking one bus that would take me ages to the other end and then get another bus, I was able to chop my route up. So, all in all, it was a fantastic day. Challenging, but fantastic, because there were a lot of experience on that journey for me today. And there were a lot of opportunities. I haven't done a long walk through a park for a while. Although on Sunday, I tend to do little walks, but it wasn't as beautiful as the one I did today. Although it was raining, but it was lovely still. Anyway, find your win, people, and redefine what winning is for you. When you start redefining what winning is for you, you start finding winning every single thing that you do and in every experience. And you also need to redefine what failure means for you as well, so that in every experience you see the value in the failure, in the same way you would see a different concept and a different meaning in winning. Right? Oh, that rhymed. Okay, so that's the beautiful thing about it. Redefine negativity so that you start seeing positive in the negative experiences and in the negative opportunity. Anyway, guys, take care, stay blessed. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening, night, morning, where you are. Take care. Bye-bye.